Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm here today with day number 6 of the 12 days of Christmas 2023, hosted by Rosa Kelly, who is Rosa Kelly Scrapbooking here on YouTube. We're also joined by Debbie, who is Deborah Adams Creative Life, and Kimmy, who is Salty Beach Scrapper. Forgive me, my words don't come out, but I'm sick again and it's very late at night. So I was bound and determined to get this done today because I had like such a great idea and I just couldn't execute it. And then I finally got it. So I'm super excited to share with you guys. I will show you some of the blooper moments I had trying to create this. I show you a few in the tutorial. But yeah, I used a lot of just scrap cardstock. And actually the cardstock I used was, my printer ran out of ink. And so the page I was trying to print didn't come out right. So I didn't throw that away. I just used that as scrap cardstock. But anyway, here's my project. Isn't she so cute? So this is just a cut file on Silhouette Design Store. I just typed in Gingerbread House and I got whatever one was on clearance. So this is approximately 3 3/4 by 4 1/8. But honestly, you're gonna make your box first, and then you can size your gingerbread house. You can even do it by hand afterwards. So I use some stickles as the frosting and on top of the little gumdrops and on the little candy canes in the door and here. I had to use some Galaxy gloss. You're going to see it. It looks horrible on camera, but in real life it's really cute. Because I dropped the glitter glue in the wrong place and I had to scrape it off and then it was all weird looking. So I used the Galaxy glue. Or Galaxy gloss. Okay, anyway, so super cute. Now, when you flip this over, I have the word pull. So what you're going to do is pull this down and out, right? But watch. It's a concertina or accordion fold, like a little brag book, right? How super cute is that? I am loving it. And the reason why I did not glue my tabs in like a normal tray is because when you take the book out, I don't want this piece right here to have to stay sticking up like that. That's annoying. So I made it so that lays flat so you can just watch your, you can look at all your pictures at the same time. And it is flat. Okay. I misplaced my pictures. I was going to show you guys how to do this. So you can use your pattern paper here and all the decoration is done for you because these are fitted for 2x3 pictures. And you can do your horizontal pictures if you would like. Or you can do vertical pictures. Let me just turn it this way. Or if you want to do a combination of both, you can absolutely do that. Or you can do all one side horizontal, all one side vertical. So if you follow my exact tutorial, then you're going to have 17 spots for pictures. You can always add more. You can add less if you would like. Okay. I am thinking of maybe making this as my January daily. I do a January daily. Well, last year was the first year that I did it, where it is a daily selfie of, a selfie myself. Because as a mom and as a wife, sometimes we forget to put ourselves in the pictures. And, I want something for my kids to have, to show that I'm in the pictures, my thoughts, my handwriting, some stuff like that. Or you can make it your own little private diary. You can, put your mood, your selfie. You can put your mood. You can write stuff on there. on the front and the back, whatever you want to do. It is your little book. Isn't that so fun? The tutorial, I do show you the little bloopers I had. Actually, it's not really bloopers. It's the process I was trying to figure out this box, because I was bound and determined to get this box done today. I'm sick, and so I'm not thinking straight. So I had a lot of wasted cardstock, but that's okay because I just used some cardstock that printed incorrectly when I was trying to print out digital scrapbook paper. So I just use that as scrap. But yeah, I love it. And all right, enough playing with it. Here's the tutorial, guys. Okay, so the box part with the tray thing, it took me a minute to figure it out. I'm writing on any piece of scrap I have, but I am going to show you how I came up with the measurements here. So I wanted my tray to be 2.5 by 3.5. Okay, how I figured out the tray is that I know I'm going to need the bottom and I'm going to need the side flaps. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I make boxes other than my full flat boxes. I don't have a template for this one yet. Okay, so I know I want my box to be 2.5 and by 3.5. And then my sides are going to be 3/4 of an inch. 3/4. Okay. So now I'm just going to math out the same way I do. 2, 3, 4 by 3, 4, 5. So 4 by 5. And then I already know all of mine are going to be 3/4 of an inch. So scored at 3/4 on all 4 sides. Okay, so let's go ahead and make the tray. I am going to use a scrap piece of paper because, well, you know what? You're in luck. I'm going to use the same color here. So cut your paper to 4 by 5. Okay. And then score it at 3/4 on all 4 sides. This is a 110-pound cardstock, and so it is a little bit, I don't want to say harder, but it is a little, it gives you a lot of resistance. Let's put it that way. All right, so let's go ahead and burnish bone folder. You got to put some muscle into it. And what I learned from using the black 110-pound cardstock, you really got to get that score line into the paper. You got to press hard so that way it does not crack. All right, go ahead and put your long side at the top, and we're going to go ahead and cut in miter. So you just cut up the score line. You're going to miter. Okay, and then we're going to cut up the score line. We're going to miter. What you do on the bottom, you need to do to the top. So let's rotate it. Cut on the score line and miter. And cut on the score line and miter. Okay. So what we're going to do is now rotate your paper to where the small side's at top, and we are going to add glue or tape to our tabs. As you can see, I folded them over, and we're going to just line up the corners. You're only doing one side of the box. You're not putting the whole box together. Okay? Or tray. It's more of a tray than it is a box. So, when you do that, stop. We're all done. Okay? Leave us alone. Put it away. Now, what you want to do is take another piece of paper for the wrap. I'm going to attempt to do it with the 110-pound cardstock, but this just may be too finicky to do a wrap. Typically, you want your wrap to be able to move a little bit, but we're going to see what's happened. So I measure mine 3 5/8 by 7. So the reason why I did 3 5/8 is because your box may be a little bit off. 3 5/8 is the long tick mark after the half. It's between the half and the 3/4. Okay. Now, by 7. If you are using any other weight other than the 110 pound, you are going to be more successful than what I'm about to be, because I feel like this just doesn't give, but I want it to match and I don't have any other tan paper. So, okay, on the long side, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch, 1 1/4, 3 3/4, and 4 1/2. Okay, and how did I figure that out, you're asking? Well, my book. Here we go. You can use the book template. Just ignore your top and bottom flaps because we don't need flaps. We just need this part. So I needed this to be like a 1/2 inch. And then I needed the neck square to be, so this is how I did it. I needed 1/2 inch for my closure flap. I needed the neck square to be 3/4 inch, right? So it would have been like 1/2 inch here. And then I needed this to be 3/4 inch. I needed this to be 2 1/2. I needed this to be 3 1/4. And I needed this to be 2 1/2. Okay, so this is how I figured it out. So 2 1/2 plus 1/2, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 by 3 5/8. And this is a wrap, because I knew my up and down was 3 5/8. So I didn't need the depth because we're not closing our box. We're not doing anything with these flaps because we're not making flaps. So that's another way how you can use my book. So long side we did 1/2, 1 1/4, 3 3/4, and 4 1/2. If you need a visual, there you have it. Okay, but like I said, this 110-pound cardstock, well, Hakuna Matata. We're going to see how this works out. Okay, so just had a coughing fit, but I went ahead and burnished. You do not want to glue at this point because you don't know if your box is going to fit these measurements. We did this on a hope and a prayer. Mathematically it works, but we all know paper crafting. So you're going to try to wrap it around your box to where that 1/2 inch is going on the bottom. And then you're trying to get this situated around. There we go. So you don't want to make your wrap so tight that you can't pull your tray out. So you want to give it just a little bit of breathing room. And as you can see, mine is being finicky. It doesn't want to work, which is fine. I'm going to see if I can get you a better example with this one. Some people like to do their wraps. They just take the paper, put a little bit on the back, and then when they wrap it around, they mark the different marks on there, and that's where they score. Or some people don't even score at all. So It's really your preference. I like score lines because they're nice and nice, nice and crisp. This tray is a little bit harder to wrap because we only have one side glued in. If you have both sides glued in, it's so much easier, but there's a reason why I don't want that side to be glued in. And you guys have already seen that reason, but here we go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is on my big flap, I'm gonna put my glue there. So mine is roughly 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So, you know, do yours wherever the paper tells you to do it. That's where you're going to do it at, okay? So mine's roughly 1/8 of an inch. No, it's not going to lay flat. This is not a lay flat box, so it is not going to lay flat. Okay? Tucked my tabs. I just tucked my tabs in, and hopefully I glued my wrap correctly. I did. Woohoo! Okay, so you want to tuck your tabs like so. Yes, it's going to have a gap because it wants to close all the way, and it can't. And I glued this funky. Okay. I think 110-pound cardstock was a bad idea for the wrap. Just an FYI. So, I did the same thing, the same measurements on a piece of 85-pound weight cardstock, and let's see how much easier this is. So I'm going to tuck in my tabs. Oh man, that was so much more easier. Look at that. Okay, so if you want to make your life easier, use your 85 or lower pound cardstock for your wrap. That was so much easier. Ha, okay. Anyway, I don't know which side is which. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now that we got our tray in and everything looks great, you can actually pull it a little bit so it looks like that. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and work on our inside pages. So our inside pages, we want them to be, gosh, I changed the measurements, 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Yep, that's what we want our pages to be, okay? But we need our pages to accordion out, and so we need two 1/4 by 3 3/4 scored on the long side at 1/2 inch. I think that's right. I hope that's right. Maybe I should do a tester page. Alright, let me grab some more scrap somewhere. This will work. Alright, so 2 1/4. And I just have my paper trimmer off to the side by 3 3/4. Scored on the long side at 1/2 inch. That is correct. Yay, go me. Okay. We are in business. And actually, I think I want my pages. I don't know why it doesn't look right, but it's right. All the measurements are correct. All right, so I need 8 pieces at the 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, and I'm gonna cut those out of Cardabella Tartan number 1. My pages are already going to be decorated with this plaid. All right, so 3 3/4. Now, if you have your paper like this, your 3 3/4 on the top, if you just slide it over here to the 1/2 inch and score that, you have all your score lines done. So you don't have to do each one individually. Or you can cut it and do each one individually. So now I need 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and 2 1/4. Okay, so you see here, all of my score lines are already done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then, okay, 3 3/4, scored at 1/2 inch. I'm just going to do this whole strip. I know it's going to give me more than what I need, but that's fine. And then 2 1/4, so 1, oh no, 2, and 3. Okay. So if you haven't already, go ahead and, you score it on the long side at 1/2 inch if you didn't do the other step. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to burnish and we're going to stick them together, okay? I know this plaid paper is weird to kind of see, but I mean, we're just burnishing. Most people have made accordion albums before, so you know what to do. So I'm just going to burnish all of these. Okay, I'm going to take my first piece, I'm going to fold it over, the little flap over. Now I'm going to take a second piece and I'm going to apply glue or tape. They're all folded over from when I burnish. And I'm going to apply it to the opposite end of my first one. So just line them up and make sure they are lined up so you don't have any weird, oh my gosh, weird looking accordion. Okay. So now you have something that looks like this. So your extra flap is there. Okay. And then fold that shut. You have another piece. Place your glue or your tape. And you're going to put that on the opposite side of your fold. So you're just going back and forth, back and forth. If you mess up and forget to put it on the other side, it'll be fine. You just have to force your paper. It's really not a big deal. Alright, so glue, put it on the flap that does not have a tab, line it up. If you do this with plain color cardstock, you are going to have to cover up your lines. See how the tab, you're going to have to cover up your tabs. I don't really mind with this crazy plaid paper, so I'm not covering anything up. Okay. Next, we're going to go in with the glue. If you had tape, it'd probably go faster because then you don't have to wait for it to dry. Okay, so line it up. Next one, so you're just basically, whoa. You're just repeating this step to make a concertina or accordion fold, whatever country you're from, however you say it. They both mean zigzag fold. Okay. And then we have this one, blue. I know I'm not in frame, but my back hurts, so I got to sit back a little bit. Okay, so... And then our last one, which is going to be here. Perfect. Okay. So here is our little concertina book. And if I played my cards right, it should be diagonal, straight, which it is my pattern for my paper anyway. And now we are going to glue this to your inside of your tray. It does not matter, excuse me, what side you glue it on. Okay, maybe it kind of does matter. Just make sure your last piece is either situated to where you can pull it out this way, or if you want it pull out this way. That's just going to determine where you glue that. Honestly, I think I was right the first time. It don't really matter. Just glue it down. Okay, so I'm going to glue mine at the top where my tray is open. That is where my tab is going. I'm going to try to center it as best as I can. Sorry if my head's in the way, but I can't see. All right. I'm being a little picky here because this is going to be my final one. Hopefully it works because I want to give this to as a gift tomorrow. Okay. Oops. Right. I'm going cross-eyed with this plaid. Okay. So, in theory, what it should do is when you open the box, you pull it down and you pull it out. So that way your pictures lay flat and you don't have to worry about going over the box like this and your picture getting ruined. That's why we did not close those tabs. Okay, so here we go. Where's my wrap? And it has plenty of room for you to add your pictures. Ah, that is perfect. Okay. I'm so proud of myself with this because I kind of went through a lot of different ideas. I went through a lot of different... Let me see if I can show you what I went through here. I had this idea, this... I had this thing because I wanted to put it in a fold flat box, so I made a fold flat box, but it's really cute. Hold on, let me show y'all the whole effect of it. When it's all shoved in there, it's super cute, and then you pull it out, the fold flat, right? So fun, but you can't put it back in without bending your pictures up. So that's when I decided, maybe a tray. So this one, you're going to pull down and out. And now you can pull your concertina out and lay it flat, right? So I am going to go ahead and put another piece of paper right there. I'm going to cut mine at 2.5 by 3.5. This should be just so that way it looks good. 2.5. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to glue this in here. Okay, I meant 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Excuse me. 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. And I'm going to lay that right on top of there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. Okay. There we go. Bring it right up to that score line, but not over it. Oh my goodness, did you see what I just did? Okay. Guys, we're in business. Ow, that was my collarbone that just popped. All right, so that's it. We're good to decorate. Woohoo! Thanks for watching tutorial, guys. Bye.